Here's The Wire, Season 3, Episode 1, titled Time After Time. Season of politicians from top to bottom. So Season 1 of The Wire was about the street. Season 2 of The Wire was about the unions. Season 3 of The Wire is about politics and politicians, and it's how it's all about the stats in so many different ways. With politicians, they get stats every day about their demographics, about what people think about this case, what people feel about that case, what people feel about the school system, what people feel about themselves, in the hairstyles they have, and the coat and tie that they have. So what we're learning in the first two seasons, it's really about the stats about the police force and how it goes down to the congressman, it goes down to the councilman, it goes down to the press, and how right now in this episode there's too many murders and there's a corruption of stats because it's a game of stats and it's all about saving your job. And when I was hinting on in the season 2 where it's not really about doing what's best for mankind in general, because the people on top are generally not the best people. But we're going to be introduced to 3 different characters, one in the middle, one at the bottom, and one who's trying to become the top. And so you got Councilman Tommy Carcetti, who's the white guy, and he has an agenda. And like many politicians, and people are kind of like I've heard like rumors, or if you look at bloggers, like people are not really too convinced about this character and the performance he plays. But if you really look at really, I think this is a kind of a golden performance that the guy who plays Tommy Carcetti plays, because what's so great about this character is that he's like any good politician where you really don't know what to make out of the guy. Like, you see some great qualities, you see there's a genuine idealism to why they got into politics in the first place, but you see their intelligence and you see how they see 10, 20 steps ahead, and they can see why they're good at their job. So there's so many good qualities, there's so many like kind of like positive qualities, but they're so positive they can turn into very negative, especially in our system. So we're going to learn through Tommy Carcetti's kind of saga through season 3. Then you got Major Bunny Colvin, who is one of the more popular characters on The Wire. He was introduced at the end of season 2, but really this is his season. He's great police, he's a great major, but the system is so broken for him that he's almost a beaten man, but he's too smart to be totally beaten down. He's too strong to be totally beaten down. But here's a man who can really do a lot of change, but because of the system, how the system is, he can't do too much change. So he's like he's in the upper crust. He's like a vice president in a corporate office. Like, he's got intelligence. He's gone up the corporate ladder, but he's kind of fallen a couple steps before greatness, or a couple steps before being in the top job, because he's not as corrupt as the people at the top. That's just being broad strokes about it. And then you got Cuddy, who is just out of prison. He was a banger. He's probably murdered people in the past. He's 14 years in prison, and what he sees in the new world and the outside, so much change, but also so much the same as well. It's still a game. It's still on the streets. And here's a guy who's trying to make a conscious choice to be a better man. And you're going to learn through these 3 characters as The Wire progresses. That's my review.